Don't buy that bike, homeless man scratched the paint with a key. The police number appeared. Ghost examined vintage 1987. Harley Softail offered at $4,000 half market value by shady dealer outside Portland bike show. Homeless mechanic Eddie Walsh staged fall, scratched fresh paint with key, revealed Sheriff DEPT etched underneath, saved Reaper from felony stolen property charge. Sometimes homeless men prevent crimes dealerships enable. Sometimes key scratches expose truths fresh paint was meant to hide. Day 1, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Portland Motorcycle Expo, Convention Center parking lot, hundreds of bikes on display, private sellers hawking machines, cash deals happening in shadows where documentation questions weren't asked. Thomas Ghost Riley, 48, Reaper's sergeant-at-arms, had been searching for vintage Harley to restore project bike to occupy PTSD-haunted nights when sleep wouldn't come. His sponsor at VA had told him, "Ghost, idle hands feed your demons. Find project. Something that requires focus, problem-solving, creation. Bikes saved me. Maybe they'll save you." Ghost had nodded, understanding. Iraq took pieces of me I'll never get back. But maybe I can rebuild something else. 2:32 p.m. Dealer approached Rick Santos, 40's too friendly smile, setup that screamed, "No paperwork necessary." "You Ghost? Heard you're looking for vintage Softail. Got perfect bike. 1987 FXST. Original owner, garage kept, minor cosmetic issues. $8,000 normally, but I need quick cash, 4,000 takes it today." Ghost's instincts triggered, why half price? Divorce. Ex-wife wants assets liquidated fast. My loss? Your gain? Ghost examined bike flawless except fresh black paint job covering what should have been original Harley orange. Why repaint? Previous owner dropped it, scratched tank badly, I restored it, paint's 2 weeks old. Story felt wrong, but bike was perfect. Original engine, clean frame, $4,000 for $8,000 machine. Let me think about it. No time. 3 other buyers waiting. Cash today or I move on. Ghost pulled out wallet, $4,000 in $100 bills. VA disability back payment he'd been saving for project bike. Eddie Walsh, 54, homeless veteran sleeping in convention center alcove, recognized that motorcycle immediately. Sheriff Mike Johnson's stolen bike. Reported stolen 6 weeks ago. Subject of countywide bolo. Eddie had been Sheriff Johnson's department mechanic, 1995-2010, before alcoholism cost him job, family, housing, knew every bike in Sheriff's fleet, especially Sheriff's personal 87 Softail, with etched identification under paint. If Ghost buys that bike, he's buying stolen property. Felony, prison, dishonorable association with Reapers. Eddie had 30 seconds to stop sale, but warning Ghost verbally would alert Santos, who'd flee. No time for police, no credibility as homeless alcoholic anyway. Teresa taught me, disability isn't excuse for cowardice. Luis taught me, act when everyone else stays silent. Doc taught me, sacrifice matters. Eddie would act, even if it destroyed the bike he'd once maintained. Eddie shuffled toward transaction, holding coffee cup for spare change, playing role everyone expected. Invisible homeless veteran begging at motorcycle show. Ghost was counting bills, $3,800, $3,900, $4,000, Santos reaching for money. Eddie tripped over curb, fell directly into bike, hand clutching key, accidentally dragging across freshly painted tank in long scratch. "Hey, watch it!" Santos screamed. Ghost caught Eddie, helped him up. "Sir, you okay?" Sorry. Eddie slurred, playing drunk. "So clumsy." But they both saw it. scratched through black paint revealing orange underneath and etched letters, Multnomah County Sheriff, Dep 1987, Fleet, Shower 7. Ghost froze. Santos went pale. That's just old etching from previous owner. Previous owner was Sheriff's Department, Eddie said, dropping drunk act. This is Sheriff Mike Johnson's stolen bike, reported stolen August 15th. $10,000 reward for recovery. And you, pointing at Santos, you're selling stolen law enforcement property? Santos ran. Ghost grabbed him, former Army Ranger reflexes engaging. Not smart running from veteran with PTSD. Makes me chase. I like chasing. Security? He's selling stolen bike, someone shouted. Convention security tackled Santos. Portland police arrived within minutes. Detective Sarah Chen, now familiar with Reapers, after multiple cases took statements. Ghost, you almost bought stolen motorcycle? I had no idea. Price seemed too good, but Santos had explanation. If not for Eddie's accident, I'd have bought it. Chen turned to Eddie. Mr. Walsh, you recognize this motorcycle? I was Sheriff Department mechanic 15 years. Maintained every fleet bike. Knew Sheriff Johnson's personal Softail. He loved that bike. Customized it himself. When Santos offered it with fresh paint covering identification, I knew it was stolen. Why scratch it? Why not just tell Ghost? Because verbal warning from homeless alcoholic gets ignored, but physical evidence? That gets believed. Chen verified. VIN matched Sheriff's stolen bike. Santos had 13 priors receiving stolen property, fraud, identity theft. Sheriff Mike Johnson arrived personally. Eddie Walsh? That you? Where the hell have you been? Living rough, Sheriff. Drinking problem cost me everything. But I remembered your bike. Couldn't let it stay stolen. Johnson's eyes filled. Eddie, you were best mechanic we ever had. Before the bottle took you, you just recovered my bike. $10,000 reward is yours. Eddie stared. I don't need reward. You need housing, job, purpose. Reward's first step. Getting you back is second. But Santos in handcuffs made threat. Eddie, you just destroyed my business. My associates know where homeless vets sleep. You're dead. Detective Chen added charge. Witness intimidation. That's 5 more years. But damage was done. Santos's associates' chop shop operation with ties to organized crime now knew Eddie Walsh had cost them Sheriff's stolen bike and exposed their operation. Ghost understood. Eddie had saved him from felony charges, but made himself target. Eddie, where do you sleep? Under Burnside Bridge. Different spot each night. Safer that way. Not anymore. You're moving into Reaper's clubhouse, under protection, until Santos's associates are arrested. I'm homeless alcoholic. You're a veteran who saved another veteran from prison. Your family. Reapers protect family. Eddie felt tears starting. First time in 4 years, someone had called him family instead of homeless guy. Sheriff Johnson added, and when Reaper's protection ends, you've got job offer. Department needs mechanic. You need sobriety. We'll help with both. But Monday morning, Eddie's former sleeping spot under Burnside Bridge was firebombed, gasoline poured over cardboard shelter, burned completely. Message spray painted on concrete. Snitch dies next. Detective Chen confirmed. Chop Shop sent message. They didn't know you'd moved to Clubhouse, but now they'll search. And Ghost, Santos made bail $50,000 posted by anonymous benefactor. He's out, probably running Chop Shop coordination while awaiting trial. Ghost realized Eddie had saved him from buying stolen bike. But Santos, free on bail and connected to organized crime, was coordinating revenge against witness who'd exposed operation. Eddie looked at Burns' shelter on news. That was my home. Everything I owned, sleeping bags, spare clothes, photos of my kids before divorce, all burned because I scratched paint off motorcycle. Day 2, Monday evening. Sheriff Johnson visited Reaper's clubhouse, first time in uniform entering MC premises. Awkward acknowledgement of changing relationship. Kane welcomed him. "Sheriff, you're here about Eddie?" "I'm here because Eddie Walsh was my mechanic for 15 years. Best I ever had. Then his wife left, took kids to Idaho, filed restraining order. Eddie spiraled. Drinking, job loss, homelessness. I tried helping, vouched for him at VA, offered rehab support. He refused, said he didn't deserve help." Johnson looked at Eddie. "But Saturday, you sacrificed anonymity to save stranger from felony. That's man I hired in 1995. That's mechanic who kept my fleet running. That's Eddie Walsh before alcohol." "Sheriff, I'm still alcoholic." "Yes, but you're sober alcoholic today. That's what matters." Ghost added, "Eddie's been at Clubhouse 2 days. No drinking. We're not enabling. We're supporting." "Good, because my job offer stands $55,000 annually. Benefits, sobriety requirement. You drink, you're fired. But if you stay sober, you're best mechanic in Oregon. Department needs you." Eddie felt weight of opportunity crushing. "Sheriff, I've been homeless 4 years. I don't even have tools." "I kept your tools, stored in evidence room. Figured someday you'd come back. Today's that day." Kane asked quietly, "Sheriff, why fight for Eddie? Most law enforcement writes off homeless veterans." Johnson sat heavily. "My brother was homeless veteran. Vietnam. PTSD, addiction, lost everything. I was young cop, didn't understand. Thought, just get sober, get job, problem solved. Didn't realize trauma runs deeper. My brother died under bridge, hypothermia, 1989. Nobody fought for him. I've spent 30 years making up for that, fighting for every homeless veteran I encounter. Eddie's my chance to get it right." He looked at Eddie. "You reminded me Saturday. Homeless doesn't mean hopeless. Alcoholic doesn't mean incapable. You saw a stolen bike, processed identification under paint, acted decisively. Your mind works. Your skills remain. Alcohol hasn't destroyed that yet, but it will if you don't stop. I've tried stopping. Try again. With support this time. Reapers providing housing. I'm providing employment. VA providing treatment. You're not alone anymore. What if I fail again? Then we try again. That's what family does." Day 3, Tuesday. Detective Chin arrested 5 chop shop operators, Santos's associates, who'd firebombed Eddie's shelter. But organization went deeper. 18-person operation, $2 million annually in stolen motorcycles, connections to 3 states, RICO investigation launched. Federal prosecutor offered Eddie deal. Testify against entire operation. You were department mechanic. Can identify 12 stolen bikes currently in their inventory, and will guarantee witness protection, relocation, new identity. Eddie considered. Testimony would dismantle operation, but require abandoning Portland, abandoning sheriff's job offer, abandoning Reaper's family, abandoning sobriety support. What if I testify without protection? Stay in Portland? Then you're target for 18 defendants and their associates. We can't protect you adequately outside witness protection. Ghost interrupted. Yes, you can. Reapers provide security. We've protected 3 witnesses now, Doc, Rosa, Luis, all successful. Eddie stays. We guard him. He testifies. That's considerable risk. Risk we accept, Eddie's family. Day 4, Wednesday. Eddie began mechanics work. Ghost's shop needed experienced mechanic. Hired Eddie at 25 hours while awaiting trial, giving him income and purpose. But Santos, out on bail, began surveillance. Eddie leaving work, reapers escorting him, patterns tracked. Day 5, Thursday. Santos's lawyer offered deal. Eddie withdraws testimony. Santos pleads to minor charges, serves 2 years. Chop shop continues operating under new management. Eddie gets $50,000 cash, signs NDA, moves away quietly. Eddie refused. I'm not being bought. Santos personally called Eddie's ex-wife Jennifer in Idaho. Your ex-husband is testifying against dangerous people. Your kids might become targets. Convince him to withdraw or risk your family. Jennifer called Eddie, terrified. Eddie, they called me. They know where kids go to school. They're threatening Sarah and Michael. You have to withdraw testimony. Eddie faced impossible choice. Testify and endanger children he hadn't seen in 4 years, or withdraw and let criminals who destroyed his shelter continue destroying other veterans' lives. But Friday midnight, Eddie's daughter, Sarah, 19, arrived at Reaper's clubhouse, first time seeing father in 4 years, drove from Idaho against mother's wishes. Dad, I heard about threats. Mom wants you to withdraw testimony. But I need to tell you something. You disappeared when I was 15. Drinking destroyed our family. These past 4 years, I thought you were dead. Then I saw news. Homeless veteran exposes stolen motorcycle ring. That's when I knew you were alive and trying. She held his hands. Dad, if you withdraw testimony to protect me, you're still the alcoholic who ran away. But if you testify, if you stand up despite threats, you're hero I remember from childhood. Be that hero. I'm adult now. I accept risk. But I need my father to be brave. Eddie sat with Sarah in clubhouse. 4 years of absence compressed into single conversation. Sarah, I abandoned you. Drinking was more important than your 15th birthday, than your high school graduation, than being your father. I know, I hated you for years. But Dad, Saturday at bike show, you saved that biker from prison. You sacrificed safety to help stranger. That's man who raised me until alcohol took him. Maybe you're coming back. Eddie pulled out wallet-worn leather carried through 4 years of homelessness, containing single photo, Sarah and son Michael, ages 15 and 13, last photo before Jennifer left. I kept this. Every day under bridge, every night in shelter, every moment I wanted to drink myself to death, I looked at this photo, reminded myself, I'm father who failed, who abandoned, who chose bottle over children. His hand shook, holding photo. Sheriff Johnson offered me job. Reapers gave me housing. You drove 12 hours to support me. And I'm terrified because what if I drink again? What if I fail again? What if I'm sober alcoholic today but drunk tomorrow? What if testimony puts you at risk and I'm too broken to protect you? Sarah took photo, looked at younger version of herself. Dad, this girl, she needed perfect father, but I'm 19 now. I don't need perfect. I need trying. You're trying. That's enough. Federal courthouse, Eddie testified 3 hours, identifying stolen motorcycles, explaining chop shop operations, connecting 18 defendants to $2 million criminal enterprise. Defense attacked. Mr. Walsh, you're a homeless alcoholic with 4-year gap in employment. How reliable is your memory? I'm sober alcoholic with 15 years experience as department mechanic. My memory of motorcycles is perfect. My memory of failing my family is also perfect. Both are reliable. You're being paid by Reaper's MC biker gang to testify against my clients. Reapers are 501c3 veterans nonprofit. I'm paid as mechanic based on skills, not testimony. And I'm testifying because your clients destroy bikes I spent career protecting. This is professional, not transactional. Your daughter's in courtroom. Are you testifying to impress her? I'm testifying because it's right. My daughter's presence reminds me what being father means, protecting others, even at cost to yourself. For 4 years, I forgot that. Saturday, I remembered. Jury deliberated 6 hours. Verdict: guilty on all counts, all 18 defendants. RICO charges upheld. Santos received 25 years. Chop shop dismantled. $2 million in stolen bikes recovered. But leaving the courthouse, Santos shouted, "Eddie, your daughter drove here in blue Honda Civic, Oregon plates XYZ 1847. We know. She's dead." Federal marshals tackled Santos. Judge added 5 years for witness intimidation. But damage done. They knew Sarah's car, plates, probably location. Detective Chen confirmed Sarah's car was surveilled. We're tracking 3 chop shop associates who followed her from courthouse. They're planning retaliation. Sarah's car, parked at Reaper's clubhouse, was firebombed at 8 p.m. Professional job. Complete destruction. Message spray-painted on pavement. Next time, it's the girl. Sarah was inside clubhouse, safe, but terrified. "Dad, I should go back to Idaho. They know my car, probably know where I'm staying." "No," Eddie said firmly. "You drove 12 hours to support me. I'm not sending you away because criminals make threats. We involve FBI, get you protection, and you stay." Kane added, "Sarah, you're Eddie's daughter. That makes you Reaper's family. We've protected 3 witnesses, all successful. We protect you too." Ghost offered, "I'll drive you back to Idaho myself. Secure route, armed escort, make sure you're safe." But Sarah refused. "I'm not running. Dad didn't run from testimony. I'm not running from consequences. We face this together." But Monday morning, Jennifer, Eddie's ex-wife, arrived from Idaho, furious. "Eddie, you put our daughter at risk. Car bombing, death threats. I'm taking Sarah home and filing restraining order so you can never contact our children again." Eddie faced moment he'd feared, ex-wife, using his testimony, his first act of courage in 4 years, as proof he was still dangerous influence on children. Sarah defended, "Mom, Dad did right thing by making you target. Sarah, you're 19. You don't understand." But Sarah stood between parents. "I understand Dad's been sober 9 days. I understand he testified against criminals despite threats. I understand he's trying to rebuild. And I understand if you file restraining order, you're punishing him for being brave. That's wrong." Jennifer looked at Eddie, homeless ex-husband she'd left 4 years ago, now sober veteran trying to rebuild. Now father their daughter defended. "Eddie, are you really sober, or is this temporary?" Reaper's clubhouse smell of fresh coffee mixing with motor oil from Ghost's shop. Sound of Sarah making breakfast for father she'd reunited with. Morning light streaming through windows Eddie had cleaned. First chore, proving usefulness. Tension thick as Jennifer decided Eddie's fate. "Eddie," Jennifer said, voice tired from 4 years of single parenting, "when you started drinking, I tried helping. AA meetings, counseling, interventions. Nothing worked. You chose alcohol over family, over Sarah's 15th birthday, over Michael's baseball games, over our marriage. So I left. And I've spent 4 years rebuilding Sarah and Michael without you." She held up photos Sarah and Michael today, 19 and 17, adults Eddie hadn't watched, grow up. They're successful despite you being absent. Sarah's in college. Michael's star athlete. They survived your absence. So why should I let you back in? Why risk them getting attached to father who might disappear into bottle again? Eddie took photo with hands that still shook from years of alcohol abuse, seeing children he'd lost, understanding weight of absence. Jennifer, you're right. I abandoned them. I was drunk at Sarah's 15th birthday. She'd baked cake herself, invited friends, and I showed up intoxicated, embarrassed her, ruined everything. That was last day I saw her smile at me. Last day I was her father instead of her shame. He held photo against chest, over heart, that had broken daily under bridge. I can't promise I'll never drink again. Alcoholism doesn't work that way, but I can promise I'm sober today. I testified against criminals today. I'm working at Ghost's shop today. I'm trying today. Sarah drove 12 hours because she saw me trying, not succeeding, just trying. Maybe that's enough to earn chance to know my children again. Sheriff Johnson, present for conversation, added, Jennifer, I'm Mike Johnson, Eddie's former boss, hiring him back as department mechanic, $55,000 salary, sobriety required. I'm vouching for him, professionally and personally. Jennifer's anger cracked. Eddie's been homeless 4 years. How can you trust him? Because Saturday, he sacrificed anonymity to save stranger from prison. That's character alcohol can't destroy. That's Eddie Walsh I hired in 1995. He's back. 3 months later, Eddie celebrated 90 days sober, longest stretch in 5 years, commemorated at AA meeting where Sheriff Johnson was surprise guest. Eddie, you've worked as my mechanic 3 months. Not one late day, not one missed shift, not one sign of drinking. You're keeping promise. Eddie had apartment. Reapers helped with first, last deposit. Tools, sheriff returned from storage. Income, $55,000 sheriff plus 25-hour Ghosts shopside work. And sobriety, daily AA, weekly therapy, Reapers accountability. Sarah visited monthly from college, rebuilding relationships slowly, appropriately, without rushing forgiveness that needed earning. Michael, 17, senior in high school, agreed to meet Eddie at neutral location. First meeting in 4 years, awkward but real. Dad, Sarah says you're trying. I need to see it myself. Fair. I'll prove it, one day at a time. Jennifer allowed supervised visits, protecting children while acknowledging Eddie's progress. Ghost's shop thrived with Eddie's expertise, Ghost handling customer service, Eddie handling complex mechanical work, partnership proving profitable. Sheriff Johnson presented award, Eddie Walsh, Department Mechanic of Quarter, recognizing excellence, sobriety, and service. 1 year after scratch, Eddie's sobriety. 365 days continuous. Bronze AA chip received at ceremony, attended by Sarah, Michael, tentatively, Sheriff Johnson, Ghost, Kane, and Reaper's family. Jennifer attended, acknowledged progress. Eddie, I'm not ready to call us family again, but I'm willing to call you their father. That's progress. Sarah hugged him. Dad, you're not perfect, but you're trying. That's father I need. Michael added quietly, Dad, can you come to my graduation? June? I'd like you there. Eddie felt tears, first time in year, but joy tears, not despair tears. I'll be there. Sober, I promise. Ghost presented gift. Eddie's name embroidered on shop uniform. Eddie Walsh, Master Mechanic. You're not just employee, Ghost said. You're partner. Saved me from prison. Built business with me. Stayed sober despite hell. Your family, 3 years later. Eddie's initiative, launched in Oregon, employing homeless veterans as mechanics, providing housing and sobriety support, proving addiction doesn't erase skills. Eddie, 3 years sober, managed 17 homeless veterans in employment program, 12 maintaining sobriety, 5 reunited with families. Sheriff's Department expanded program hiring 3 Eddie-trained mechanics, all formerly homeless, all sober. Ghost's shop became training site teaching homeless veterans motorcycle repair, offering employment pipeline, creating success stories. Reporter asked Eddie, "You were a homeless alcoholic under bridge. Today, you manage veterans program. How?" Eddie answered, "I scratched paint off stolen motorcycle and chose sobriety over silence. For 4 years, I was invisible homeless veteran everyone ignored. Saturday at bike show, I saw stolen bike and chose action. Sometimes homeless men prevent crimes dealerships enable. Sometimes key scratches expose truths fresh paint was meant to hide. That scratch saved biker from prison, but more, it saved me from bridge. Proved I still mattered, still had skills, still deserved family. Alcohol took everything. Sobriety, built one day at a time with people who refused to let me disappear, gave it back. Sarah taught me, trying matters more than succeeding. I'm still trying. That's enough."